Excellent. So good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate Dr. Vincent for um, requesting training from Discus so that we can be able to show you all some of the great platform of what we have available here. Um, the first thing that I'm going to do is kind of give you an overview of the page. Now, some of you may already be familiar with Discus in general. Some of you may have used it when you were in school, like when you were like even in high school, grade school. It has been around 25 years, and we just celebrated our 25th anniversary. And so at this point, we're hearing people say, oh, we actually had Discus when we were in school. But it's definitely grown and expanded. We've had a lot of additional um, just additional funding from different directions, some from federal grants, some from Department of Ed, K through 12 committee. So we've really had a lot of people come on board to support this. If at any point, those that are watching live, if there are any point that that I'm describing something to you and you're not actually seeing it, please just let me know. I just want to make sure that I'm on the right tab and you're able to see everything. Is everyone able to see the Discus website here with the green bar across the top?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so what I want to first show you about this is all of the public schools in South Carolina, and also most or many of our independent schools that are in part of the South Carolina Independent School Association. Um, Actually, we have a contact at each of these schools so that we're able to keep up with their IP addresses and that they're participating. Each year, the school will receive a Discus kit that is a promotional kit that has all kinds of handouts and bookmarks and different kinds of bling that they can hand out, such as rulers or colored pencils, things that are branded Discus, so that when you're in the classroom, when you're working with the students, when you're doing orientations for your teachers, once you're placed at a school and once you're working, you're going to be able to help continue to encourage students to remember some of the great things about Discus and to use Discus as well. What you'll notice here is Discus has been around for 25 years. We do have also links at public libraries. So if you ever have a maybe a parent on parent night saying, well, we really want to be able to get to use this, or maybe one of the students have lost their iPad or lost their device, or something's going wrong at home, they can't use it at home. Do know that the county public libraries also have access to this, as well as the colleges. So of course you will have access there at North Greenville University. As students, you have access to the Discus databases as well, but it's through the library website at NGU. And many times for the upper levels, and for the colleges and universities, they're actually sort of blended into their A to Z list of other databases that you all would be familiar with that NGU subscribes to in addition to Discus. But one of the things that I wanted to be sure and mention to you is that you will need, if you are at the school, the reason I mentioned the IP address is if you are at a school in South Carolina, you will not need to have any kind of login necessarily, because if you're on their networked computers, it won't prompt you for the Discus username and password. But if you are actually using a laptop or using a mobile device, or students are using those from home, they would need that Discus username and password. And I'll send a flyer to Dr. Vincent there to actually show that and share that with you all, that we share to the schools. But if you ever are in a classroom or you're wanting that username and password, you can actually ask for it through the contact us there on the top right of our site. Contact us. You can always jump in to contact us and click on the Discus email address. This will take you to our Discus help desk. So if I'm in training, but there are others that are there at the office or that are available, we now have 4 people on the Discus staff, and we are trying to add another. You will always be able to get help if you click on the Discus office email and say, I need the password, or if you're trying to use a database and you need some assistance, you have a student you're trying to help, etc. So just always know that contact us on the page, on the site, you can email and ask questions. You can also connect by newsletter if you want to subscribe to our newsletter and get updates about either new resources or newly added content to resources, and also any of our other webinars throughout the year. You can also subscribe to the Discus listserv if you want additional information that way. So that's a way for you all just to kind of get something in your email that you're not having to go out and look for on our site necessarily, but just to stay up to date. So I understand that you all are primarily working K through 6th grade. And I know that there's a lot of emphasis in the standards within the different content areas. And I'm going to show you at the top, across the top, the by subject is really the first place that you can go to get familiar by different content areas for your students. This is one typically when students and parents are going in to use Discus, they'll typically kind of search by subject. So all of our over 50 resources are broken out by these different indexes. So you can actually start by subject to kind of view the ebooks or view history, South Carolina. If you want to jump down to our tutoring or test prep resources, probably you are going to be even more interested in geography and some of the basic ebooks for your grade levels as well. There is another, you can certainly just jump in by grade level tab and view the early childhood elementary. And there's also one broken out by Discus Kids. So just to let you know, we tried to let there be enough different entry points that even if a parent has never seen this before and they're trying to help their children, or if you are an educator or a media specialist who's wanting to be able to go in and just quickly get in and out and find something you want to use, you'll have that ability to do so as well. The A to Z resources is just that. That list is just a full list with comprehensive list of our databases that are available. I'm just going to click on Discus Kids here to show you. This is probably where you would live the most. But with Discus Kids, the way we have it broken out, we do have breadcrumbs. So as you get familiar with databases that you, again, just want to kind of quickly jump in, maybe pull something from PebbleGo, or maybe pull, an image or an article or something that you want to maybe introduce a unit, or maybe you want to pull something out for a lesson. Maybe you're going to do group projects and you want to be able to go in and go in and out quickly to a database. These are just going to be the list of the names of the databases. So if you're looking for Britannica, you would go to B. If you want to see what we have with PebbleGo, there, you'll see that we have PebbleGo Animals, Science and eBooks. PebbleGo Next, biographies and ebooks. So you can use the breadcrumb. You can also, as you get more familiar with what all is available out there, you can also just filter by the vendor. So if you are wanting to specifically find just those books that maybe the Tumble books, ebooks, you can just view strictly the Tumble books. That one is not showing here. Okay. So if something like that happens, just jump on the T and you should be able to find Tumble books. I'm going to actually make a note of that so we can see why that filter wasn't behaving for us. But you can see there we have Tumble books, Tumble Math. These are ebook collections. So when you're going in from this direction, the main piece is, and I'm just going to click on ebooks here on Discus Kids. The main piece is just going to be seeing a little bit about what is available for that age group, Discus kids, either by subject or vendor. And again, the vendor is just the ones we subscribe to for these databases for the state of South Carolina. Are there any questions before I move on? Okay. I'm going to quickly look in chat. There is something, who can see your messages, recording on. I'm not sure. Someone had asked a question in chat. I did, while I'm here, I wanted to actually put in that Discus username and password for you. And it changes every August 1st of every year. So this will only be valid through July 31st. And you would be able to check with the media specialist at your school. You'll be able to, there's someone at North Greenville also that will be able to tell you, in the library would be able to tell you what the new one is once we change it. But this will be the password. So if any of you want to open another tab and kind of walk through with me, if you're on a mobile device, you would need this. And that would be, the username is going to be all lowercase. And that is Discus 2024. And the password is happy 1 exclamation. So those two things that you find in chat are going to be what you will need if you are working remotely there from a remote device. And usually when that's going to come into play is when you click on one of these resources. So that's when you're going to know if it's prompting you with an orange and white screen that you know you're going to need to be able to type that in order to go any further with it. So that's just a quick overview of what you get whenever you go into our site. The actual web address is there at the top of your screen, scdiscus.org. And you'll also find that in the green bar across the top, or if you're on a mobile device, you could just click the hamburger, the little 5-line screen, the 5-line icon, and be able to see all of these. But I wanted to point out to you also the training page, because you would be able to, you're all welcome to join our training sessions by looking at our training calendar. You're always, they're all free. So if you ever want to join any of those webinars, they're also training videos of past webinars and then guides and handouts. So if you are following along and you are out at scdiscus.org, if you want to click on that training link and go to the training guides and handouts, I want to point this out to you first, because we're not going to be able to cover anywhere near all of the resources this evening, but I do want you to know on the training guides and handouts page that we have these quick guides, and the elementary one is one that will be very useful to you all. I'm going to click on that link just to pull up and show you. Is everybody able to see this PDF file that's loading here?
Yes.
Okay, great. I wanted to be able to tell you that with this, it sort of breaks out more of them. So if we cover a few tonight, but you kind of want to know what else is there, or you want a little more details, you're going to be able to find out what are the main features within the other resources that are appropriate for elementary. And you're going to be able to tell which ones have images, videos, etc. So if you did want to, and these are just in alphabetical order, if you wanted to look at Tumble Books, you see that is for K through 6th graders, the animated storybooks, chapter books, graphic novels, puzzles, games, and lessons that are there. This can kind of help you just quickly and easily refer back to what I originally showed you with the A to Z list and all the actual names of the databases. This will give you a little bit more power to be able to go in and out and see what is available there too. What you see at the bottom of this page is the ability for students to be able to search across several of the databases at once. So if you have upper level 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th graders who you're now wanting them to learn how to do a little bit more interactive searching because, you know, that maybe they're already ready to kind of move beyond just browsing a database and they're able to actually type in and do some searching. That's what that handout will help you for. And you're welcome to you know, bring that down, save it, download it, and use that as well. So I'm just going to jump back to the Discus site, and where we're going to go next is into some of these ebooks. And I'm just checking, let's see, I'm admitting someone here, and I'm checking chat. So if you all have any question, please do stop me and ask. If you want to use your microphone, just make sure you turn it on and off when appropriately. And if you want to do chat, I'll keep checking on that side as well. So back from the Discus main page, and I'm just going to click here just to make this, see if I can get this to go where we're going. We're just going to go back to that main Discus page, and we're going to go into by subject ebooks, and I am going to limit that just to elementary school. And you can obviously limit also by others as well. But the Pebble Go animals here, I want to kind of introduce you to Pebble Go animals and the Tumble books. So we're going to start with Tumble books because this will cover all of your age groups that you all are concentrating on right now, all of your grade levels K through 6. And within Tumble books, is everyone able to see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to keep asking because I don't want to keep bugging you, but if I ever start speaking of something you cannot see, please let me know and I'll quickly check the tabs out. Looks like things are working well tonight. So you can see across the top that we have home and index favorites. This is going to be a collection of hundreds of books that you are able to use all the way from read aloud animated storybooks all the way up to some of the language learning books. So if you have Spanish speaking students or you have ESL students that are you would like to actually see some of the books that are available in Spanish or French, you'll also be able to pull these books as well. So anything that I show you as far as how this works, you're going to be able to quickly find that it's all of the books kind of open and work the same way in the storybooks, but you also have some Spanish and some other world languages there. So we have the storybooks here that are animated. We have read-alongs, ebooks, so they start getting into some chapter books there. So if you have students that are really more advanced in their reading or at different grade levels, you're able to use those as well. And you're able to actually browse the collections, but you're also able to go up to do a tumble search, which you'll see just to the left of the Discus logo here. Doing a tumble search here, you're able to search by author, search by keyword, and kind of go in and check just quickly to see what would be available there. So I'm just going to go in and type in the dot there, and you'll see the drop down here. We have the dot as the name of the book, but we also have, it tells you that there's a game available with that book. So if I click on the dot here and open it, you'll see it. They will always give you book details about reading levels along the right-hand side of the first screen, but then they'll also give you all the additional supplemental materials that are available, such as a lesson plan that goes with it, a book report. I'm just going to try to enlarge this a bit so you all can see better. A book report is available for all of these. but they're going to be, they have lesson plans, quizzes. Some of them are going to have additional games and activities as well. And then whenever you click on this, you can actually show this in class if you want to introduce it, if you want maybe to let the students be able to see that. And I might at this point actually have to share the screen because this is another app that is opening. I'm just going to pop over here real quickly so that you can see this. So whenever I clicked on the dot title,
art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. Ah.
So you can see within this, it's going to highlight the words in the book. It's going to, they're going to be able to hear it read aloud. You can also actually mute it if you want to mute it and then stop and allow your students to kind of look at the pictures or read some of the sentences aloud on their own, maybe take turns helping to read the book and be a little bit more engaged with it. There is the mute button, sound button here on the left. They can also manually turn pages.
A polar bear in a...
So if you want them to be able to turn the pages just manually here on the left, they can do this as well. They've just, the company has just recently optimized these so that they do work well with iPads and devices, so that if you want them to be able to manually turn the pages, you can do that. And
art class was over, but Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. Ah.
So you do have a lot of interaction that you can do. And I'm going to go back to screen share here. See if I can. Looks like I went one too far. Let me see if I can get back to where you all are. So within this one, there are over 1,400 books that are available. And let me make sure that I am, yes, there we go. For the K through 6. And if there is a particular title that you want to bring into, let's say, the Google Classroom, for instance, if you want to you can go to the index here at the top. You'll be able to grab that link to the book. Just by going to the index, you can go and find the book ID so that you can then link that book into a Google Classroom. You can put it on, if you have an electronic document, or if you want to put it in an LMS where you can actually have the students all, look at or read the book while they're at home, a specific book, or maybe you want to do a little quiz before they read it and a little quiz after they read it. You can do that as well. You can actually sort by any of these, title, author, etc., in the index. So this is now Z to A. And if I click on it again, it will change it back to just A to Z there. I can also use these breadcrumbs.
Linda?
Yes.
I can't see anything. The screen's blank.
Okay, let's see. Screen 1.
It went
I'll
black
stop
when
this.
you clicked on index.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can go back and find out what is going on with that. Let's see. I'll just do a whole new share to try to save some time here. Thank you. Okay, let me see if I can grab this. So I'm going to go back to the top. I'll just go back one click so that you all can see. I was actually in the dot and we were looking at the dot. And when I came back to this page, where the storybook page is, if you want to find the dot and be able to link to that dot or any title or any book, you can click on the index in the blue box in order to see all of the titles that are in the collection that are linkable. So here If I click on the letter D, hopefully you all can see the list now. You should see Dear Peter Rabbit, etc. in the list.
Yes, we can see it now.
Oh, great. Thank you. So I'm just going to go down to the dot here. And actually, I think that you have to go to the T's for this one because I think they actually have it listed as the dot instead of dot. Let's see if we can get to it here. Oh, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Let me just see if I can scroll down a bit. So the dot is here. And you would just go to the left of that where the book ID is. That's where you're going to be able to pull. There's a pop-up. I do not know if you can see the pop-up, but there's just an HTTPS web address that you can actually copy and then put into a Google Classroom, or like I said, an electronic document if you want students to be able to go directly into that page. So if you were to copy the dot there from the index, the dot URL, which is the book ID, it's going to be the number to the far left of the book title. When the student clicks on that in the Google Classroom, they're going to be brought directly to the page. I think I went actually one down. They're going to be brought directly to the page. Let me see if I can. Just going to keep that on so I can see that you all are seeing this. So when I click on the dot here, the student or parent or even another colleague, if you all are wanting to share the same book or maybe read, both in 2 second grade classes, maybe have the same title, you can, once you share that link, they're going to be brought to this page in Tumblebooks and be able to go just like we did and read it online and continue from there. Any questions about that, just kind of how the books work? Okay, that's kind of how how you would open and read those books. As I said before, when you first come in to the home screen here, you're actually able to just view some of these playlists that are already here, the new books that have just come in here recently, STEM games that are new, and then any other graphic novels that might be of more interest to maybe your 6th graders or 5th graders there. Award-winning books are listed here. And then also those that are in Spanish and other languages, as I mentioned before. At the beginning of the school year, they'll often have all the books pulled that have to do with first day of school or first day school jitters, etc. So they do try, the company does try to kind of keep these along with the theme of what might be appropriate either around a holiday or the winter time or start of school, etc. So these are some that can just be browsed through the collection, or as I demonstrated at the beginning, you can actually go in and do a direct tumble search. The other piece that you'll find here that is really nice is you also have a video collection that you see here. These are all going to be related around animals, fish, aquatics, birds, etc. So if you're reading something like the Polar Bear book and you want to be able to, access a quick video of a particular mammal or animal that way, you would be able to come into the video collection and easily incorporate that into a demo or an introduction to a unit or other piece there too. So those are all going to be, all the videos are going to be around animals there. There is also a nonfiction section in addition to just the storybooks where you could as well be able to introduce students to different topics with the content areas around history and geography topics there. So you have a wide variety of both fiction and nonfiction in this collection. We also have, I mentioned earlier, the ebooks, and these that are more going to be more like your chapter book types of books and the early readers. And with these, I'm going to go ahead and open one. I'm checking to make sure that my screen is following me this time. Just going to click here and check that. Let me see. I'm going to need to do a new share here.
I'm still just seeing the list of tumble books.
Oh, I don't understand why it's showing that I've shared. I don't know what is happening here. Let me see. I'm going to share this again.
Yep, now I can see the ebook.
Okay, so you can see the ebook. Let's see. So when I click to view it, let me just open it first and then share and see what happens. See if I can get it to follow with you all. Okay, with this, you don't see the blue screen yet, but let me see if I can get it to do a new share and pull it back here. This is probably the most difficult one to actually do virtually. I know even our vendor has trouble sometimes with these, trying to get them all to show. Are you all able to see the blue screen now when I opened up the Tumble Reader?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, sorry for that delay. You can see, I'm just going to, this kind of tells them how they're able to change the font, how they're able to use the Tumble Reader. If you're on a tablet, you can turn the page by clicking or tapping the right edge of the screen. If you need to skip ahead, there's a chapter button, etc. So this kind of helps parents and students to be able to navigate through the Tumble Reader. But within this one, these are all of the, what they were just mentioning, are all of the different pieces they can use within the book. So again, these aren't going to be your animated ones. These are going to be more like your chapter books, or those books that are starting to get to the level where they kind of want to read more independently. They maybe want to view the chapters and go directly to a particular chapter there. So you can see that there are these do kind of advance as the children go through the grade levels from kindergarten and on up. I'm just going to stop that screen there. I'm going to kind of transition back to the Discus page just for the sake of time so we can cover a lot more. I won't go into as much detail when I go back to change the screen again because I want to try to cover more territory about what all the great things that are out there. But I did want to emphasize again that you are able to look at the training pages if you do want more specifics there for a particular site. Also, I want to let you all know, Dr. Vinson, also, if you all want any of our trainers to actually do, just a specific training on a specific piece, once you get kind of more familiar with what we have out there, we can also do additional trainings that way as well, so that this isn't the only opportunity you'll have to learn some of these pieces. So I'm just going to go back to our, I'm going to close this one. I'm going to go back out to our Tumble Books page and share this screen again. And let's see if I can get back. I'm just not sure why my screens they're just stacking instead of actually moving where I can see them. Let's see. There we go. So I'm going to take you back to the just the Discus site here. And let's see if I can make sure. But everybody's seeing the same thing here. So that is one collection that we have. There are also, I did want to show you the new features of what we have with Pebble Go. We've had for a while, but now whenever you go into Pebble Go, you're able to actually see both the animals and the science books, and they're also the animals that are in Spanish. So we have the Animales version where students that are bilingual or learning English as a second language, they would be able to also view the animals in their language. But I'm just going to click on animals here and make sure that this is following me. So within this, we don't actually have full textbooks, but we have articles about each animal. There's also a great tool that you all can use at the top, the little random article picker. So if you're wanting to just have students maybe kind of explore animals on their own, they can just have the
Wildcats.
little animal, the little spin wheel here will actually take them in and out of different animals. And, you know, that's something to kind of engage them there. Also, the fun facts that you find here in this tab are going to be those that that you can kind of introduce lessons with or get students excited about something to see what they know already, what they know about things. Notice whenever I first came here, you probably heard the how it reads out each one of the words and things as I hover. Like if I hover over the life cycle here, you can see with the under capstone on the top right, you're able to see that you can turn those sounds on and off. So if you were trying to do a lesson and you really don't want them at the time, you can toggle them on and off. Also, within these, if we look toward the bottom of the screen, there are also the range of where that particular bee or animal lives at the bottom. There are also those there's ability to cite. So even if you've got some really young students and you're starting to teach them about how to cite their sources, that piece is available as well. But the great thing is down at the bottom, you will see the activities and the additional videos there. So if we click on activities here, and I'm just going to make sure I'm checking that you are able to see the activities. I'll just do this to make sure that you're able to see them. These are going to be PDFs that you can download. So if you want them to draw the honeybee and draw their, you know, what is the habitat, that kind of thing, to kind of engage with the articles, you can do that also with inside PebbleGo. And obviously each section, the body, the habitat, where it lives, there's also the listen aloud.
Honeybees are flying insects. Their bodies have.
And then the students can also click on some of the hyperlinks to be able to go to glossaries and get a little bit more interactivity and being able to understand their articles as they're read. Are there any questions about anything I've covered this far with Tumble Books or with PebbleGo? I'm looking in chat. I'm also checking to see if anyone wants to ask just with your microphone. One thing I want to add as we wait, and feel free to type in chat if you would like, is the link that you see at the top, the copy link for each page. That is another way that you are able, I'm just going to make sure that I share the screen that I'm pointing to here. The copy link that you see here will allow you to link to this direct page and to this direct section about honeybees. So again, you can actually pull that into your Google or your learning management, or if you just want to, you know, easily share that link to your own email, so it's easy when you're in a class to jump in and use it, you can do that as well. So the other piece that I want to show you all within that, PebbleGo Next is a little more advanced. It's going to be more on up for your maybe 4th graders, 5th graders there. And it is, it's got a little bit more context for the reading part. And they can actually browse through different biographies of people. And I'm just jumping to make sure that you are still there with me. Good. So you can see we have Anne Frank, artists, writers, athletes, politicians. So if they are the younger ones that need to just kind of browse different people, they can do that. I'm going to click on athletes here. And we'll just go in, we'll just click on Jerry Rice here as an example. And you can see that it's very consistent with the tabbing at the top. So that's not going to be something that's going to be any barrier. They're going to be very used to all the Pebble Go products this way, just by realizing there are tabs across the top, and then any supplemental materials will be at the bottom. So if they're studying about a person and they would like the timeline or more video, etc., that's going to be pretty consistent to what you see with the younger ones for Pebble Go, which are more the K through third level, K through second, K through third, and these are going to be up a little bit further into your elementary school period. So that is the Pebble Go section that we have, and you're welcome to, again, explore any of these. I'm going to take you back now to our main screen here within the ebook section to show you the Tumble Math is very similar to Tumble Books, except for with Tumble Math here, these are all going to either be math stories, they're going to be books about, how to measure, but like by using how to use a pizza to measure, or so a lot of these are going to be interactive for your math content areas. So let me make sure that everyone's seeing this one. And you can see across the top, you have that same index I mentioned before if you want to link out to any of these. If you're doing a session on measurement here and you want to see what books are available on that topic, you can just browse measurement here and find out reading levels. You can also find out, the storybooks, any quizzes that go along with it. Some of these are going to be math concepts within a story, and some are going to be more such as fitness math, where they're actually using movement to teach a concept. So these are going to actually work the same way as your Tumble books as far as reading them online that I showed before, but it also expands that content area of math for you. There's also a quiz portal that you see here. So you'll be able to see all the different quizzes. And this is actually with the Common Core, but you're able to see what each of those standards are that might go along with what you're doing with the math section there. Okay, so those are the main ebooks. One piece that I want to be able to show you next is the one that we just recently added, and you're going to find this actually by subject education. And this is something I recommend all of you really review and get familiar with here, because I see someone needs to be admitted. Because as you look here within education, you're going to find some more things that are actually useful for you. If you're looking, you want some ideas for STEM lessons and you want to be able to search some of those articles about STEM, or if you want to be able to use the mailbox that I mentioned, I want to actually bring this up for you to see, because the mailbox actually has over 11,000 activities. Some of these are printable. And these are also going to be downloadable as well. So if you want to be able to just quickly print out a handout on, around a holiday, around Valentine's, if you're doing something for Black History Month and you want to be able to get some ideas for activities there. Let me see if this is, it looks like it's very slow to load here. Let's see if it's going to move for us. So everybody should be able to see the mailbox now. And I wanted to point this out because it is K through 6, pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, all the way up through 4th through 6th grades. And you can see they have the featured content around holidays. They're also those pieces that will just be activities that the students can do as well. So if I browse the grades 4 through 6 here on the right, you'll be able to see how they're broken out by vocabulary handouts, reading handouts, grammar, usage, and other pieces here just for the grades 4 through 6. So if you wanted to look at language arts, you could pull some of those. If you're looking at parts of speech, for instance, you can see that the handouts that are available here are already, vetted. This is already from an established company that has produced the mailbox for many, many years, initially in print. But you can also see when you look, when you open one of these, that like the adverb ants, I'll just click on those for you there. I'm just making sure the PDF is following me so you can see it. Here, you can actually kind of see an overview of it. You can add it directly to your Google Classroom if you've already logged in, or if you want to log into your Google Classroom there. You can share it and post it from this screen. You can also see the answers and other piece. So they're actually two different parts. So you would want to upload the actual handout, and you could keep the answers for yourself there. You can be able to use any of these already created handouts for those activities. And you'll also see within these that there are other types of information as well. If I click on the mailbox here, I'm just going to go back down maybe to pre-kindergarten for some of those of you that are looking more at the younger end of the K through 5, K through 6 grades. There, you can also see that you can just browse by seasonal. You can browse by the different topics that are available. Teacher tools. So if you want to be able to go in and maybe get something new for planning for a substitute teacher or doing any of that piece, those are all going to be found in the teacher tools section that you see here. You can also go in and just directly search something specific. So if you are maybe wanting to do something about butterflies, or there's a particular topic that you want to search just across the mailbox to be able to locate, you can do your own search there. And then it's going to pull up everything across all the grade levels that have anything to do with that butterfly topic content that you're working with. And you would be able to then filter by grade level. So if you want to go in and filter just those that are for kindergarten or just those for 5th grade, you can filter that way as well. And then again, any of these are just going to be regular PDF docs that you would be able to use and incorporate into a lesson. Are there any questions with that resource? So these are like all of the butterflies, and all of, I just did that direct search there where you could see the butterflies and be able to see that they're across all the age groups. So Dr. Vincent, is there anything else here that you want me to make sure that I add before we wrap up, so that I'm not leaving something out that you really wanted to emphasize?
I think you've done a great job giving a broad overview of all the different resources. And basically from here, it's just taking time to play with it, to get in there
Yes.
and do the searches based on what it is that you teach or what it is that you may be creating a lesson plan for.
And then we do have, like I said, if you wanted to pull the the honeybees section of PebbleGo and kind of start them off with that, but then you wanted to, jump into the mailbox and be able to get some additional handouts on the honeybee, the butterfly, et cetera, you could just kind of start within these first two. And like Dr. Vincent said, just sort of, begin to sort of branch out with what you will kind of get familiar with there. The other thing that I would personally like to share, I don't believe I mentioned this to you, Dr. Vincent, but we do have also circulating kits that the students can, the teachers can use and actually order. So the media specialists at the schools can use. And those circulating kits, I'm just going to click on the tab for the state library here. Again, this is our parent here that we're all housed with the state library. But I wanted to share this screen with you because here you would be able to go in and actually have, there are all kinds of drone kits and other kinds of pieces that you could also order through the school library, whichever school that you're actually teaching with. You can actually go in and see some of the options of what we have here. And I'm just going to make sure you're still following me here so that you can see the circulating kits are found on the Services and Programs tab. And these can be requested. They're everything that you can imagine here. So you can actually reserve a kit, and this explains exactly how you can do this. But this is something for when you are placed at a school and you want to be able to do a hands-on activity to be able to really engage the students. And what I'll tell you from here is you can actually work with your media specialist and have someone come out to demo these kits and actually show you how to use the kits. But that's something that again, it's not really part of our online part today, but I wanted to make sure you all were aware that that's an extended piece that's available when you are actually, working directly at a school. So you are welcome to go in, like she said, and play around. If I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and share to the chat a SurveyMonkey link. It's like a little 3-question piece for you there that I would like to put into the chat because we are partially funded by a grant. So and also we do like to find out, was this useful to you? Would you like it broken down a different way? Would you like to just focus on one content area and kind of see what all is there? And was this a useful training to you? We do like to have mention of that there. Let me see if I can, it's trying to get the chat to open. There we go. So this is the survey. If you all would be able to just click on that and use that link. I will also send this back to Dr. Vincent so that we can get additional ones when there's more time. Thank you. I do appreciate you all coming to attend today, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. But if anybody does have a pressing question that you would like, and maybe you don't necessarily want to be on the recording, I'm just going to hang around after I stop the recording